Good evening. As you'll have heard, since we were last on air, a man has been charged with the murder of Jill Dander, who presented this programme with me, of course, until her death last April. Now, since obviously anything we say could prejudice the trial, there's little we can tell you, except that those close to Jill have asked us to thank the media for their restraint since the man was charged. And there's more news about another Crimewatch case.
Toddler Daniel Grimshaw and his mother Amy came to see us on February's programme following a dramatic rescue. Daniel was kidnapped from his pram in Bradford but was found after nearly 2 months as a result of a call to Crimewatch. Last week at Bradford Crown Court, 5 men were sentenced to jail for child abduction. But the judge said the child's father, Mirza Mahmood, was the plot's organiser. He's now thought to be abroad. Now, a bit of a mystery. Why would anybody go to such extraordinary lengths to steal a battered, undrivable 11-year-old car?
I work in a big garage doing repairs and recovery. I'm a mate of Bob's and he's the manager at the garage. About 6 o'clock that night, we locked up as usual, and then Bob offered me a lift home. I was keen to get home because my wife only had about 3 or 4 weeks to go before she had the baby, and she weren't feeling too clever. She's feeling sick and not sleeping. Once I got home, my wife didn't really want to cook, and I'm not a very good cook, so I said that I'd go to the chip shop. I then started to walk back, just hoping that I'd have a nice relaxing night in. I was only a couple of minutes away from home when it happened.
Excuse me, mate. Do you know Park Gates Road is? Get in the car. Just get in the car. We know where you live.
And when I saw the gun, I was absolutely terrified, and I believed that I'd been shot if I didn't get into the car.
What have I done? There's a black Porsche in the garage, and you're gonna let us in there to get it.
I know which Porsche they're on about, because we only had 1 Porsche in the garage, and we've recovered it about a week earlier.
There's no way I can let you into the garage. I don't have the keys. We've been told that you've got the keys. We know you've got them, and you're gonna get us in there. I don't have any keys. I can phone someone who's got keys. Who? Bob, the manager. He's got keys. Phone Bob then. And if he does everything he's supposed to do, then everything will be sweet.
Hi, Steve, mate.
Bob, listen to me. I'm sitting in a car, and there's someone pointing a gun at me.
Right, okay, Steve, pull the other one, mate.
Bob, please listen. It's serious.
You're not kidding, are you?
No. Now listen, I'll tell you what they want. You know the black Porsche we got in?
Yeah, it's in the garage.
They want you to bring it out to the front car park. And then call me back on the mobile when you've done it.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. You okay?
Yes, so be quick.
I'm on my way, Steve. I'll be there in a bit.
As soon as it's sorted, we'll let you go.
The guy I'll never forget is the gunman. Quite biggish, I'd say about 18, 19 stone. From his shoulders to his head, didn't look as if he had a neck. Had short hair, he had an earring in his left ear. 3 guys in the car were all dark-skinned, all in between 25 and 30, all with London accents.
I was in a rush to try and do everything as quick as possible. I didn't know there was three guys in the car with him. It must have been so traumatic, it must have been such an ordeal for him. The way his voice was, he was very frightened.
I was hoping that Bob would get the Porsche out, but it was going through my mind that I thought they'd kill me afterwards.
When I looked to get the Porsche out, I was in that much of a rush, I almost hit the wrong buttons on the alarm.
I was driving around for hours and the gunman just kept pointing the gun at me.
Mate, the car's overheating.
And I pulled the car out into the car park, left it where I was told to leave it. As I was driving the forklift back round to the back compound, I noticed a red lorry. It was a recovery truck coming towards me. I was a bit worried myself because I didn't know who was in the truck. I didn't know whether Stephen was in there or what.
Steve, it's Bob. The car's in the front car park.
Cheers, Bob. The car's where you wanted it. Yeah. The car is on a car park deck.
The gunman spoke to someone called Deck. Was that the name of the accomplice in the recovery truck?
Sweet, sweet, sweet.
They pulled down a country lane and we sat there for about half an hour. I think they stopped the car because the car was overheating. It was dark in the middle of nowhere and I was just really terrified of something happening.
A passerby saw the lorry leave with the Porsche. It's thought it headed in the direction of Coventry on the A444. Did you see where it went?
The gunman's mobile phone started ringing. It had a light on the aerial which started flashing.
Pull over here.
They eventually pulled over on the Oxford Road on the way to Southam.
We'll keep the phone, mate. Go on.
I was relieved that I was still alive. I managed to get a quick glance of the number plate. It was CK at the end of the registration. The reason why I remember that is Calvin Klein.
The Cavalier headed in the direction of Banbury. The ordeal had lasted 2 hours.
A few weeks after, my wife gave birth to a little boy, which I never thought I'd see.
Nikki, a terrible ordeal for that man. First of all, what can you tell us about the car that was taken, the Porsche?
All right, it's a black 911 Porsche Carrera, and it had accident damage and wasn't drivable at the time of the incident. It's a G-Reg car which was on H-registered plates, and it had a tail fin which wasn't standard to that year of the vehicle. The vehicle shown in the reconstruction is actually a newer version, and this was the old shape of Porsche. And it could possibly be out there now on new registration plates, and the only way that the new owner, if you have purchased a Porsche similar age to this one, would know that it was a stolen vehicle would be by checking the engine number of the new vehicle.
I think the engine number's up on the screen now. Why this particular Porsche?
We can't be sure. We can only speculate. It would appear to be a completely insane risk to take just to recover an 11-year-old Porsche. We can only speculate that there was something of high value in there, such as drugs or cash or anything like that, which would cause them to take such a risk to recover the vehicle.
Now, what about the other car, the gang's car, the white Cavalier?
Right, it's a J-Reg Cavalier hatchback, and it had a 3 in the numbers and either CK or KC in the lettering of the registration plate. It had a BRMB, which is a local radio station, sticker,
Radio Birmingham.
Yeah, in the rear offside window. And it may have some stage been parked in the car park of the Convoy pub, which was near to where Steve was picked up. And the occupants of the vehicle may have been drinking in the pub at some time during the evening before this incident occurred, or they may have been seen on the car park.
Now, the clearest description we have, not surprisingly perhaps, is of the man who was pointing a gun at our victim's face. What can you tell us about him?
Yes, the e-fit that we have is a 95% likeness of him. It's quite unusual looking. It's about 18, 19 stone, well built, muscular build, not fat, with rolls of fat down the back of his neck, short hair, and he was wearing a gold hooped earring in his left ear. And he had a mobile phone which the aerial actually lit up when the phone rung, which is quite unusual and very rare to see.
I know he had that expression, sweet man, sweet. That's something that particularly distinctive to him. So
That's
perhaps
it, yeah.
if anyone recognises that. If you know anything, if you recognise that phrase, that phone, perhaps if you're the unwitting owner of that Porsche now, call us in the studio on 0500 600 600. That's on the screen for most of the show. Or the help desk on 02476 539 020.
The taste of paradise was not enough for this robber. He went into a petrol station at Abingdon in Cambridge on 6th of March and picked up a bounty bar. Next, after climbing onto the counter and menacing the assistants, he had grabbed a handful of notes and ran off. Now, is this him again at a service station on the A505? This time there's an accomplice and they're armed with a hammer and a crowbar. We're calling him the Bounty Bar Man. If you know him, please give us a call, 01480 456 111.
Take a look at this character with the baseball cap. He's robbed building societies in Derby, Stoke-on-Trent and Stafford. And here he is at the Alliance and Leicester in Stoke on Wednesday, February the 9th. He's calm, smartly dressed and carries a gun. And each time he's wearing the same hat. He never gets agitated or shouts. Give us a call if you recognise baseball cap robber, 01785 234 034. Twice before we've appealed on one of the most shocking crimes in Britain since the war. We promised we'd stay with it, and here we are again. It's the murder of 3 generations of the same family at the home in Clydach in Swansea a year ago. What we know is that Mandy Power had been babysitting. She came home in a taxi late on Saturday night on the 26th of June. With her were her daughters, 8-year-old Emily and 10-year-old Katie. In the next few hours, something terrible happened. The fire brigade was called at 4 in the morning and found the house had been deliberately set ablaze. Before that, the whole family had been bludgeoned to death, along with Mandy's 80-year-old mother, Doris. Now, we had a lot of calls last year, several of which helped move the inquiry forward. But still, nobody has been charged. But now, as we approach the first anniversary, the father of the 2 dead girls speaks out for the first time about his memories of them, and his hope is that this will prompt witnesses to call in.
The day that they were born, well, it makes you feel proud of that. I can enjoy all the time I spend with them. Anytime. That just makes me feel good. Good about myself. Katie was quite outgoing, bubbly, and then Emily was quite she liked girly things. Sarah, my partner, she said there'd been a terrible tragedy. And she said the 2 girls had died. It doesn't really hit you straight, you know, it's as if you dream it. If it's not real, I just try not to think about it. I try not to go places that I know will remind me of it.
In fact, you've been making progress in this, I think, quite a lot just in the last few days. There are 2 women you want to appeal about tonight. One of them entirely new, one we've appealed about before. Tell us about the new one.
Well, there's been a significant development within this case, certainly in the last 10 days. We need desperately to trace a woman that we know that was drinking in the Farmer's Arms public house about 3 weeks before the murder with Mandy.
That's about a year ago now?
About a year ago, yeah. She's described as being in her 20s, cropped blonde hair, and a very distinctive diamond stud in her nose. Now, I believe that Mandy told her something very, very specific and very, very important.
This woman is not a suspect?
Not a suspect, a key witness, and I'd love her to come forward.
Now, the second woman is one we appealed about before. She was the one who took a taxi from the Mond and finished up in Kelvin Road, which is pretty much outside Mandy's house. She didn't come forward last time, but you've got something new about her, what?
Well, we've had over 200 calls in relation to this female. Unfortunately, a lot of those refer to women who've been rather larger. We've now produced an artist impression, which is supposed to be a very, very good likeness of this woman. Now, it may well be that this woman went to the scene and in fact got out of the taxi and did not go to number 9 Kelvin Road. She's been described in the media as being the suspect. Can I say that I've never said that? I believe that she's key to this investigation. She could have gone to the murder scene either just before the murders or indeed just after the murders.
Certainly the way she's dressed, she doesn't look as though she's gone out for a multiple killing. She's been out on a Saturday night in Clydach.
Exactly, and it's vital we speak to her. Now, if the scenario I've given is correct, I really want her to come forward. I can assure her that we can speak to her in a strict of confidence. She can come anywhere, at any place, and we'll meet her.
OK, well, if it's you, easily recognisable. You are fairly small, incidentally, size 8 or 10, I think, slim, 20s, 30s, and only about 5'3". There is a £30,000 reward in this case, incidentally. The numbers, well, they're on the screen, both here in the studio and the murder inquiry room itself. This is the biggest murder inquiry Wales has ever known. This woman is going to be found sometime, but please come forward yourself now. As you hear, you've got nothing to fear by coming forward. 01792 562 731.
The May Day anti-capitalist riots caused widespread damage to central London, and last month we appealed for your help in identifying some of those involved. The day after the programme, a 23-year-old hospital worker from Kilmarnock in Ayrshire phoned the police. He'd now been charged with violent disorder, burglary and 2 counts of criminal damage. Last month we also asked you to tell us the whereabouts of a bogus plumber who'd been doing the rounds of social clubs in the southwest of England. A viewer recognised someone in a London pub after watching the programme and called the police. David Archer has been charged with numerous offences of deception. Thursday nights. Notice anything different about them? Do you know somebody who often goes out alone on Thursdays and may stay out all night? In the Chichester and Bognor area of Sussex, a man has carried out 14 sex attacks for the past 4 years, and he nearly always strikes late on Thursdays or into the early...
Chichester, college years are supposed to be the best time of your life, but not at all.
I mean, I have my bad days and I have my good days, you know, but the worst time is like late at night. I hate being on my own now.
At the beginning, there seemed to be a clear pattern to the attacks. The women were mainly foreign students, Greek, Italian, Asian, 3 were Oriental. Most with a link to the technology college in Chichester. But then some of his victims were even younger.
He was actually sort of in the woods next to the lane as she walked past, and she noticed him but didn't really pay any attention because there were some eco-warriors who were actually living in that copse at the time, and she was walking quite normally down the lane and was aware that this man was now following her.
Don't make a sound or a squeak. Give me your money.
I've only got 3p. Why are you doing this? I'm only 12.
We need the money. Put your blazer over your head. Take your clothes off.
No.
You can leave your bra and knickers on.
No.
She absolutely refused to cooperate. I mean, she's 12 years old. It was broad daylight, and she was in her school uniform. As a mother, it's really very hard to understand, you know, the mind of a man that can do this.
In the end, he just searched her bag. He wore a grey Calvin Klein t-shirt, had stubble and short, sticking up dark hair. Bizarrely, as he ran off, the girl saw him pull on a balaclava. But his face stayed with her, and she saw him again, 2 months later in Chichester town centre near the Cross. He didn't notice her, but was speaking on a bright yellow mobile phone. Does he live in Chichester? Do you recognise the phone? He was wearing a waist-length black leather jacket. A number of his victims have seen it. The street assaults continued, but since February, attacks in the home have become more frequent. Still on Thursdays, again using burglary as his excuse, and all while women are asleep.
Yeah, I was living in a student house with 3 other girls, and got this pet rat, and when he hears people up and about talking and things, he gets all excited. The next thing I remember was waking up with someone's hand over my mouth.
Keep quiet, boy. Your dad owes me money. Where's the box?
I don't know. I haven't got any money.
Keep quiet. Keep quiet.
He was saying, shh, be quiet or I'm going to rape you. You must be quiet or I will rape you. But because of my rat making all the noise, the man obviously got scared.
That rat doesn't shut up. I'm going to eat it.
He was very, very nervous. There was no doubt about it. He was pacing up and down as if he didn't know what to do next.
I shouldn't be here. No, this isn't right.
I just remember thinking, this is just like Crimewatch. I've got to remember the details. It's very important.
He made her undress and spent a long time just looking at her, before saying he was going to get the car. Did you see a man leaving Orchard Avenue in the early hours of that morning? It was the second time he'd struck in this street. So far he'd stopped at indecent assault, but in the early hours of Friday the 5th of May, he finally committed rape in Wolverton near Chichester. He may have been in the area the night before the attack. In Mansa Road, a man was seen fitting the rapist's description, prowling around, looking at houses. The rape happened near this hotel in Yapton Lane, Wolverton.
I came back to my room and had a bath and washed my hair and everything, made myself a cup of tea. I had my stereo on, which I always have on. I think it's a comfort thing. That one thing that sticks in my mind all the time is when I first wake up. It's one thing that always does, and it still freaks me out now. I was absolutely petrified. My heart was beating really hard and really fast.
I'm looking for something.
But I could still hear my music playing.
I've got a knife. I don't want to have to use it.
From then on, I just thought I was dead. I honestly did. I just thought, you know, that's it. Oh my God, but I just thought he was either there for like jewellery or money. After he'd actually gagged me, that I knew that he wasn't there for anything else.
Don't scream.
He absolutely stunk of some sort of potent smell. It was petrol or some sort of turd. Stunk, it was disgusting.
I don't trust you. That's why I'm doing this. Okay.
I just lay down and just shut my eyes and just wished everything away. I tried to block that part out so much because I don't want to remember it. It just makes you feel awful. It just makes you feel dirty. It just makes you feel I don't know, used and abused, really. Pure hatred. I do. I just hate him for what he's done and what he's put me through. I mean, I could be a complete wreck by now, but I just think that he's not going to ruin my life. He's really picked the wrong girl because I am such a strong person.
Well, good for her. Steve, I believe that because of the publicity surrounding tonight's programme and featuring this case, you've had 6 more women come forward already.
That's right. One of our appeals is for women that have been attacked previously and haven't reported it to the police for whatever reason to contact us now. They might have that vital piece of information that we need to identify this man. 6 women have come forward recently to say that they've had a man looking in through their windows, a peeping Tom, and also that they've been followed in the street in the Chichester or Bognor area.
Now, what about Thursdays? The fact that he nearly always strikes on a Thursday. What are we to make of that?
Yes, it's strange, and I believe it is significant. It may be that Thursday is the night when he is out, perhaps that's the night that he works, or perhaps somebody in his house is out, and therefore he's able to go out when people don't know.
Or it may be that if he has friends, for example, and they want him to go out with them, he's never around on a Thursday, he's never available, or he comes back on a Friday agitated.
Right. That's right, and what we're saying is if anybody knows who this person is, please call in now, make that call. And if you've got any suspicions at all, make the call, because there is forensic evidence from the rape last month and from an attack 2 years ago. That forensic evidence is linked, so it'd be very easy for us to eliminate any innocent person.
And what about a description? You've got a good description, haven't you?
Yes, we've spoken to all the witnesses and re-seen them again. We know that the man is probably in his 20s, although some of the victims say that he may be in his early 30s. He's a white man, he's got short, dark hair, and sometimes it's spiky up at the top, and he's always unshaven.
And he may be from the Chichester area, presumably?
Yes, I think there's a strong possibility that he either lives or works in the Chichester area.
OK, well, there's a reward of up to £20,000. If you know anything, or if you've been a victim of this man, please call the studio on 0500 600 600 or the incident room on 01243 843 599. If you've been a victim of rape or any other crime and you need to talk to someone at Victim Support Line, you can call 0845 30 30 900.
Now, some footage of 2 men carrying out what I think is a very callous crime, tricking a confused and elderly lady. This is in Ashton-under-Lyme near Manchester in early February. A hidden police camera captures one of the pair spinning a yarn about delivering carpets. And meanwhile, his mate searches the house and they run off, taking the woman's purse and her money. Let's put these two behind bars. 0500 600 600 or 0161 856 9540.
And who is this man? He's one of a pair who robbed a bottoms-up off licence in Formby in Merseyside. Now see them coming in on Monday, 6th of March. After violently assaulting the assistant, they tied her up in the back room and stole cash and cigarettes. Both were about 25 with strong Liverpool accents. They seemed to be strangers to the Formby area because just before the attack, two men fitting the description and driving a red van asked for directions. Please help us find the bottoms-up robbers and you could be eligible for a substantial reward. Call 0151 777 3465.
In April, we showed a photo of a woman who'd been on a spending spree with a selection of stolen and fraudulent credit cards. A woman was arrested at Dixon's in Bromley in Kent in May and has been charged with a large number of deceptions. In January, we appealed for information on the killing of an East London shopkeeper, Sukhdev Gill. We showed two possible suspects. As a result of the programme, two men have been charged with robberies, but independently of Crimewatch, two other men have now been charged with Sukhdev's murder. Do you remember this CCTV footage from January's programme? These two seem oblivious of the camera as they come into an Alliance and Leicester in Liverpool. They put on disguises before robbing the building society. As a result of calls to Crimewatch, 26-year-old Paul Michael Holmes from Liverpool has now been sentenced to 5 years for robbery. But his accomplice has never been caught. If you know who he is, give us a call.
And our number live to the studio is 0500 600 600.
There really are signs that we might do really well tonight and have a lot more to report next month, indeed later on tonight. We're getting some intriguing calls on the murders in Clydach, and I'll tell you about those later on if we get the chance. On the heist of the Porsche, we've just been overwhelmed with calls. Please, no more on flashing telephone aerials. We know all about those, but we've got names coming in from police officers, names coming in from prison officers, names coming in from all sorts of other people as well. So that is looking very strong at the moment, even though it looked like quite a long shot getting anywhere with that. But now, an extraordinary case. It's become known as the Telford hangings, and there's one person out there who could solve it. We hope she, and we know it's definitely a woman, is watching tonight. When Errol McGowan and his nephew Jason were both found hanged at 6 months of each other, it looked like two related suicides. But after a high-profile campaign by their family, the police opened a major investigation. Now that much is already well known. What we can reveal tonight is that the police have received a letter, and it's an extraordinary one. It was sent anonymously, but the writer clearly knows a great deal about Errol and Jason's deaths. Tonight, we appeal to her to make contact again. Errol McGowan was a 34-year-old building labourer and nightclub bouncer. On Friday the 2nd of July last year, Errol left for work at 6:30 in the morning, but never arrived. At 8 a.m, his van was seen parked in Urban Gardens, Telford, outside a house belonging to a friend. At 10:30, two men were seen on the drive of the house. Who were they? At 2:40 that afternoon, Errol's van was spotted by his friend Malik, who, concerned, he says, at Errol's mysterious disappearance, called the police. At 3 o'clock, police broke down the door of the house and found Errol hanging from the door handle. 6 months later, on New Year's Eve, Errol's nephew Jason went out to the Elephant and Castle pub in Ketley. Early next morning, he was found hanged from some railings at Ketley Recreation Park. Errol's brother Noel is here now, along with Detective Superintendent Mel Shaw, who's a senior officer investigating. Noel, how does the family think they died?
And the family are not sure how they died, but the family want to find out the truth about the circumstances surrounding their deaths.
What are relations like now with the police? Because they were pretty bad at one stage. You thought the police had made a real mess of the investigations.
The relationship with the police was non-existent to begin with. Now the relationship's on a better footing and things are progressing.
The not knowing, I know, is taking a big toll on the family. It's very, very hard.
It's been very hard for the family. I mean, at the end of the day, they're not sure what happened. They just want to come to the truth.
Mel, tell us about this letter that you've got.
Well, it was sent to Telford Police Station just after Jason's death. It does contain quite specific detail about how Jason and Errol died.
So it's definitely not from a crank. It's got information that must have come from somebody who knows them.
Certainly not. We're absolutely certain that this person is genuine and wants to help the investigation, and it's vital that they contact us.
If she does, can she remain anonymous?
Yes, we will take every step to preserve her wish to remain anonymous, and we do know it is a woman.
Now, tell us about Jason's death. That was really the morning just after the Millennium celebrations. He'd been drinking in the pub. You've traced most of the people in the pub, but not everybody.
That's right. We've been very successful. There's 240-odd people in there, and we're now down to just a handful of people left to identify.
This is the Elephant and Castle in Ketley?
That's right, on the Millennium Eve party that Jason went to.
Now, all of these people that we can show have not been traced, is that right?
No, yes, we want to trace these people. We want them to contact us.
And you desperately need this woman to write the letter to call in?
We'd like anybody, including this lady, to actually get in contact and provide us with any information to help us find out what happened to my brother and my nephew.
Please call the studio number or the incident room. The incident room is on 01905 75 7777.
This is Simon Noble. He's wanted in connection with an incident outside a Bradford nightclub in August 1998 in which Paul Murphy's throat was cut. Fortunately, Paul survived, although badly scarred. Simon Noble was arrested and charged with wounding after the attack in 1998. He disappeared just before he was due in court. He's 27 years old, 6'1" and heavily built. Now please don't approach him, but call 0500 600 600 or 01274 376 285.
This is a long shot, but we're hoping that a £10,000 reward will unlock a mystery that's been causing grief for many years. It's the murder of Eric Allen Brandt back in 1996. Eric, known as Shaka to his friends, was found dying in his car after it crashed into the back of a red single-decker bus. It happened in South London at 7:30 on the evening of Friday the 4th of October. Now, police officers at the scene initially thought it was a fatal accident, but it later became clear that Shaka had been stabbed before getting into his car. Now, we know he received a phone call about half an hour before he died. So did he meet someone? And what was he doing between 6:30 and 7:25 that evening? Call 020 7230 4374. And remember that £10,000 reward for information leading to a conviction. And you can even claim it anonymously by ringing Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111.
A refugee from Eritrea, Teddy Afewerk, has been in a coma for 2 months after a racial attack left him with serious head injuries. Please help us find the thug who did this. At around midnight on Sunday, April the 23rd, near Sainsbury's in Camden Town, North London. After knocking him down, the attacker jumped repeatedly on Teddy's head, shouting, "Black bastard." We urgently want to question this man, smartly dressed and very tall, 6'3". He has a thin face, and if you look carefully, you'll see he has an unusually long, thin nose. Please ring 020 7321 7228.
Now, a confession from us. Something we've always worried about, and it happened. In April's programme, we showed a picture of the wrong man. We asked for help to find the person who cashed a cheque stolen from an elderly woman while she was in hospital. We showed this picture taken from a bank video footage of a person the police thought was involved. And it's now emerged that there was a problem with the bank's video recorder, so the person we showed was actually an innocent man, Mark Havard, going about his lawful business. Now, apologies to Mr. Havard for the embarrassment and distress. In a future programme, we'll be able to show you the right image and be asking your help to identify the real criminal.
On Crimewatch Reconstructions, as we often point out, we frequently downplay violence. In this next one, we're only going to hint at the level of brutality. But what you will see is a good deal of bungling involved in the crime. It happened 2 months ago in Guildford, Surrey. At 9 a.m. on Tuesday the 25th of April, the cleaner of Bojangles nightclub had been working for 2 hours and went out to get a snack.
Thank you, love. Yeah. See you later. Okay, bye now. Have a nice day. See you.
I started early because I wanted a bit of time with my family and grandchildren. They allowed me to come in earlier, which I did, so I could get off a bit earlier that day.
Nearby, about the same time, a local shopkeeper overheard a conversation.
The thing is, it's more fun when there's someone inside, you know? You done one like that before? Get down on the floor! Get down on the floor! Don't look at us, do you know what it is?
Please don't let me. I'm a grandfather.
Don't worry, we're not going to hurt you. We're only after the money. What time does Dad come in?
He's not coming in today.
What do you mean? He's always here after a bank holiday.
In fact, the manager of the club was abroad on business.
Oi! We are not messing about. Now, that's not what we were told. You're lying.
I'm not, I swear.
Oi! You got the keys to this?
I told you. I'm only the cleaner.
Right. Shut that and open that. If you say anything or try to get through the door, I will put a bullet in you. Go on. Let's go. Come on. Go to the door and behave as normal. Go on.
I felt terrible. Terrible, involving friends of mine, women as well.
Hi, Jack, all right?
Not too good. I'm sorry about this, but nothing to do about it.
Don't worry, just walk in there and sit down, all right? Come on, let's go. Come on.
The men stole money from the staff, took SIM cards from their mobile phones, ransacked the club's fruit machines and smashed the cigarette dispenser. But plainly, they were looking for something bigger.
There's nothing here.
What do you mean there's nothing here?
I've been all over, there's nothing.
Look in the office. Have you checked the office?
Yeah, I'll go there next.
All right, who works in the office? You work in the office.
Come on.
Go on, go with him. Go on, move.
Come on.
Let's go over. Right, hurry up. Where are the keys? Where are the keys to the safe?
I don't know, I wouldn't have them.
Right. Where are the keys to the safe?
I don't know, I wouldn't have them.
Give us a bag, darling. And stop crying, will you, Pops? I'm getting fed up with this. Who's got the keys to the safe?
Leave him alone, look what you've done to him. Ricky. Right, Ricky's got the keys, the assistant manager.
And where is he? When's this Ricky coming in?
I don't know. He was here till 3 last night, he's still in bed. He'd be here after 1.
It's not good enough, folks. Now, what are we going to do to get him in here now?
Jack, you're going to have to phone him. Tell him Walter's coming in on the new carpet.
Yeah, all right, I will. Yeah, all right. He's not answering.
Well, maybe we'll just have to go and knock him up then, won't we? Come on.
The two men seemed clueless about what to do next. They helped themselves to cans of Red Bull energy drink, and they became increasingly impatient. They also expressed strong views on the club's record collection.
What is this crap? Have you got any garage? Right, come on, let's go. Come on, let's move, Pops, with me. Go on, move. Here you are, have these. Look after them. Come on, let's go. Come on.
Jack, just slow down and start again. And remember, you woke me up to tell me this.
The old place is flooded. And yet that new carpet is totally ruined.
Jack, you do not need me to tell you to call a plumber. Call a plumber.
Please, boss, you got to come in.
Jack, call a plumber. The water board, the council, call the bloody Coast Guard for all I care, but please, sort it out.
Please, boss, you got to come in right away, boss.
All right.
Ricky, please, right away.
All right, Jack. I'll be in half an hour.
You'll be in half an hour. Right, good. Come on.
Around 11:30, a white Ford Sierra was parked outside the nightclub and got a parking ticket. Did you see it there? Or did you see a driver?
Jack! So where's this flood then? Put the briefcase down. Put it down. Right, in here. Come on, let's go. Move, move.
I'm sorry, Ricky, they just saw that.
You okay, mate?
Yeah. Go on the floor. Don't look at me. Don't look at me, all right? I want the keys to the safe.
I don't have the keys to the safe.
Don't mess me about. I'll take your kneecaps out. I've done it before and it ain't a problem.
Oh, God, please don't do that to him.
It's all right, Jack. Just try and stay calm, mate. Just try and stay calm.
Wait, look at this. There's not enough money in there.
It's all we've got. We use a night safe.
You don't use a night safe.
Look, do you think if I had the keys to the safe, I'd be carrying all that money around in a briefcase?
Don't try then. Okay, check all the doors.
These keys don't work. What do you mean they don't work? They don't open the safe.
Right. Where's the beer cellar? Where is it?
It's out the back.
Come on, up on your feet. Let's go. Move. Come on.
Right.
By now it was 12:30, a busy lunchtime, and police want to trace all the witnesses. They also want to find the driver that nearly collided with the gang.
Hey, look where you're going! Help! Help! Quick, call the police! There's been a robbery, they've got guns!
The car made off down Woodbridge Road into Ladymead.
Stand still! All right. The others are in the back.
Meanwhile, the gang headed towards the northbound A3.
Don't run. Walk towards me quickly. Go to the rear of my vehicle. Well done. Keep
I don't think I will ever forget it. Never. I wouldn't like to be in the club ever again on my own. That's how frightened I was.
And one phone call could earn you £10,000 if you can solve this. And there are lots of clues too. For example, where's that getaway car? A white Sierra with a black spoiler. The registration, we think it's legitimate, the right registration, F for Freddy 681WBD. Do you recognise this distinctive bag with this camel motif on it? The gang used something very much like it to carry away the cash. Did you see the gang before the attack hanging around? We know one witness spotted them in Sydenham Road in Guildford. Did you see them break into the club around 9 in the morning or make their getaway around 12:30? Or were you in that car that nearly collided with theirs? The date, Tuesday, April the 25th, about 2 months ago, the day after Easter bank holiday. Call the studio number 0500 600 600 or the incident room on 01 483 484 000.
And we had some very good information, a great response on the robbery of this Porsche. Names coming in, a possible sighting of the Porsche, possible sighting of the truck, some names coming on the Thursday night rapist, and a new name on the Swansea family murder. These cases do get solved. Just on Friday, a man was arrested and charged for the murder of Clifford Harris that we featured on Crimewatch 13 years ago.
I hope it won't take that long tonight. In fact, these are all crimes that could be solved with your help right away. Our numbers are on CFAX on page 621 if you want to look that up, and you can email us at crimewatchuk@the BBC.
And remember, if you've been a victim of any crime and you'd like to talk to someone, you can call Victim Support on 0845 30 30 900. There'll be volunteers waiting for your call until 2 a.m.
Join us for Crimewatch Update just after 11 o'clock tonight, and if that's past your bedtime, well, we hope to see you next month. Remember, we're on Wednesdays now, so it's Wednesday, July the 26th. We're hoping then to bring you fresh information, and really quite important information, about Susie Lamplu's disappearance. So let's see if we can solve that one too. Don't have nightmares, do sleep well. Good night.
Good night.